Thanks for tuning in to Unbreakable with Chris Chamasiros. I talk about politics, sports, and entertainment to keep you well rounded. What's going on around the world? If you don't like hearing the truth, definitely don't tune into this channel. So let's get started today. Candace Owens is getting to the bottom of who assassinated Charlie Kirk. And a lot of people are angry. A lot of people are mad. And it makes absolutely no sense to me at all. I don't understand how anybody can criticize Candace Owens for trying to find out who is behind the murder of her friend Charlie Kirk. So let's put a few things in context here. After Charlie Kirk was assassinated, the Dairy Queen that Tyler Robinson was in just happened to be bulldozed and destroyed. And you know why that is? Because the people that carried out this assassination were probably in there and left fingerprints all over the place. Then, where Charlie Kirk was sitting and was assassinated, guess what happened? The following day, a crime scene was bulldozed, complete with new concrete, new everything, and a crime scene was completely washed away. And the FBI and the government of the United States of America just want you to believe their story that Tyler Robinson carried this whole assassination out by himself. He's never been to Utah campus at all. Obviously, the pictures that they showed you of Tyler Robinson, the initial pictures that they released, that's not Tyler Robinson. And we all know it's not Tyler Robinson. This thing stinks to high hell. And all you keep hearing from a lot of people is, what do those text messages have to do with Charlie Kirk being assassinated that Candace Owens is releasing? Like, are you effing kidding me? Are you serious? And all these people claim to be in reality. They all claim that they're not conspiracy theorists. Well, I have bad news for you. In any normal investigation, if somebody like Candace handed over those text messages to the local police after somebody was murdered, those police officers would go through those messages because it shows motive. That's why. And now that Candace is releasing those text messages, somehow she's the villain because she's talking negatively about Israel. She's an anti Semite now, which is a complete joke. It's a complete joke. The messages that Candace has are from Charlie Kirk himself. And this was Charlie Kirk, Mr. I love Israel. I'll do anything for Israel. I love my greatest accomplishment as a Christian was going to Israel. And he was saying in these text messages, all the stereotypes that you hear about these Jewish donors is true. They're putting pressure on me. I feel like my life is being threatened. And because Candace Owens is releasing those messages, oh, Candace is bad. Look at her. She's releasing private text messages between her and Charlie. Well, Charlie's not here anymore. And I'm sure Charlie would want her to release those text messages. And if you were a real friend and you were trying to figure out who assassinated your friend, you wouldn't show the world those text messages? Like, this thing stinks to high hell. Patrick Bet David today has Eric Bolling on his show. And Patrick Bet David says, who do you think is behind the assassination of Charlie Kirk? He's like, oh, it's definitely not Israel. And Patrick's, well, tell me who. Oh, I don't know. It was the transgender ideology. Tyler Robinson did not kill Charlie Kirk. Tyler Robinson was the fall guy that left him with a bag in his hand. That kid did not pull that trigger. And anybody with a brain in their head knows. But since Eric Bolling is a shill for Israel, he's never going to come out and say that. Never, never in a million years. It's amazing the pro-Israeli people that Patrick Bet David have on his show all the time. They'll go on the show and they'll say things like, it's impossible that Jeffrey Epstein was a Mossad asset or agent because he talked too much. And then Patrick Bet David pretends like the light bulbs go off in his head. That's interesting. I never thought of that. He talks so much, it would be impossible for him to be a Mossad agent. He was paid to be a socialite. He was paid to get famous, powerful people in compromising positions. He was supposed to be social. He was supposed to talk a lot. That was his job. You're going to hire an introvert to be a socialite to get people in compromising positions with underage kids? But these are the kind of people that Patrick Bet-David has on his show. And when they say things like this, Patrick Bet-David, most of the time, he goes along with it and he doesn't question at all. He just goes with the flow. And I believe that Patrick Bet-David, I don't trust Patrick Bet-David at all. I don't know why Candace Owens trusts him. Like he's some voice of morality. I am not buying it at all because Patrick Bet-David has had numerous people on his show that are pro-Israel, and they say things like that about Jeffrey Epstein and Israel would never do this, and they're an ally to America, and they're this and they're that, but all their actions show differently. It's just like I don't understand in this space how Patrick Bet-David is looked upon like a solid citizen or a person with integrity. Because if you look into the pyramid scheme, if you look into he reeks of a used car salesman. And I believe that he's being paid by Israel. I believe that Adam Sosnick is his connection because the things that Adam Sosnick says on the PPD show, calling women bees and hoes and all the garbage that comes out of his mouth, Adam blames Israel could do anything and Adam will make an excuse for it. And PBD just goes right along with it. Why is that? Why is that? You know why? Because they're getting paid money. Just like Charlie Kirk was getting paid a lot of money. See, there is a lot of motive behind Charlie Kirk getting assassinated. Do you think the Chinese government killed Charlie Kirk? No. Do you think the Iranian government killed Charlie Kirk? No. Do you think the Russians did it? No. Do you think Muslim extremists did it? No. So, which country has all the motive to want to see Charlie Kirk not live anymore? Because Charlie Kirk, you could say whatever you want, was becoming super powerful with the youth. Everybody knew who he was. And all of a sudden, his tune was starting to change. The Israeli donors have a lot of explaining to do. They're behind open borders and all these crazy leftist policies. And he was even questioning October 7th, saying that he felt that Benjamin Netanyahu gave a stand down order. This was Charlie Kirk's words, not mine. You got to remember how much money that Charlie Kirk took from the Israeli government or Israeli donors, hundreds of millions of dollars. And then he's going to come out and go the opposite way. And you don't think they had 200 million reasons of motive to make sure that he didn't speak anymore? Like, what planet are you all on? And then you're blaming Candace Owens. I mean, hopefully, if that ever happened to me, I had a friend like Candace Owens trying to get to the bottom. I don't know how anybody in their right mind could say something negative about Candace Owens trying to get to the bottom of who killed her friend. Nick Fuentes the other day, he said, Candace Owens doesn't know what she's talking about because George Farmer is her husband. And look at him. He comes from a rich family and he's British or whatever the hell he is. And she was engaged in 18 days. All this garbage. Now, Candace Owens is bashing Israel, and Nick Fuentes bashes Israel to no end. So why is Nick Fuentes mad at Candace for trying to get to the bottom of it? Candace hasn't come out specifically and said, oh, I think it's the Israeli government. No doubt in my mind. Candace hasn't said that. She wants to get to the bottom of it before she really points fingers. But going back to Nick, why are you on full attack on Candace Owens now? Because she's attacking Israel, or she's making it seem like Israel was behind it. Oh, her husband is a rich guy. His father is a multi-million. So what? Candace Owens is supposed to marry somebody with no career and comes from a poor family? That would make you happy? Because there's not a woman on the planet that doesn't want to marry a rich guy. Every woman on the planet wants to marry a rich guy. Black, white, Spanish, fat, short, skinny, whatever. They all want a rich guy. But somehow, because Candace Owens married a rich guy whose father is a big publisher and is from England, somehow this makes her not credible when it comes to who murdered her friend. I mean, it makes absolutely no sense. It doesn't make sense. You have to sit here and wonder who is paying all these social media influencers. Nobody's paying me because I'm sticking to the truth. What we've seen happen to Charlie Kirk, the way his wife acted, all of a sudden now you got all these new weirdos. Oh, I'm the new Charlie Kirk taking over Turning Point USA immediately on air. And they're trying to shame Candace for trying to get to the bottom of it. They're trying to shame, oh, it's not good for the family, and it's not good for this, and it's not good for you. It's not good for the narrative that you want to spin. It's not good for your pockets. But Candace and Charlie had a relationship of they were friends. They were real friends. So I don't understand how anybody has something negative to say about Candace Owens trying to get to the bottom. It makes no sense. And it makes you look suspicious. It makes it look like you're trying to hide something. So today, Patrick Bet-David, he asked Eric Bolling about some of his statements about Candace Owens. And of course, he tries to insult Candace Owens first. Oh, I'm in reality. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. See, this is always the cop out. Evil is so evil. And when they carry out their evil, then they always want to have a cover story. And then if you don't believe that cover story, then you're a conspiracy theorist. I've seen evil at all levels. And there's no such thing as being a conspiracy theorist because 99.9% of the time, the thing that they're calling the conspiracy is the actual truth. So it's just, he claims to be in reality. Really, you're in reality? So you have no problem that they wiped away a crime scene, that they knocked down a Dairy Queen? You think this transgender idiot? Oh, and then he believes the text messages. They had authentic text messages from Tyler Robinson and his lover that, spelled out the entire crime. That means he's guilty. Listen to this idiot talk. Listen to him.
I want to get to is you and I spoke last time when we were on the podcast. We talked about Candace Owens, if you remember, when the Candace Owens conversation came about. And then I called you and I said, hey, Eric, people are asking questions about two items. One, the comment you made about being on the board, and the other one was a comment made about that Candace hadn't spoken at Turning Point USA for 2 years. I think you said that. And then
you see how he got uncomfortable in his chair and looked down? Exactly. He knows he's lying. He knew it. He knows he lied.
The audience on sent a message, which was June of 2024, 18 months or 14 months prior to you speaking.
Heart rate elevated. Too bad he's not on a lie detector test right now because he would bleep off the charts.
I know you responded to it on your channel, but people want to see on you responding here as well. What do you have to say to the audience?
So it remains. 2019, I was going from a show I was hosting in D.C. to a restaurant just outside the D.C. area. I get a phone call. It's Charlie Kirk. He said, Eric, I'd love to have you on the board of Turning Point USA. It just, it wasn't maybe a year or two of its real gusto at the time. I said, Charlie, I love your vision. I'd love to do that. I've spoken, and I was an advisory board member from 2019 to 2024 ballpark, early 24. And then I moved over to the honorary board. I'm still on their honorary board. So anyone who says like, oh, he's not on the board. No, I'm not on the actual day-to-day business of the board, but I'm an honorary board member after spending 5 years as an advisory board member. Clear that up, walk past that. As far as the comment on Candace, Pat, I think I said, I hadn't seen her, or she hadn't been
now he thinks. Sure he did.
A speaker at TPUSA for a couple of years. And I guess I was mistaken because it was 18 months. And I had forgotten about the 2024 event as I think she was pregnant. Anyway, Candace Owens' army let me.
Isn't it funny how guys that know everything all of a sudden, oh, it was an error. No, I didn't say that. No, it was a mistake. But any other topic, he knows everything.
Know it. They were very upset. And this was all stemming from kind of a back and forth I had with Adam about, she was blaming Israel for Charlie Kirk's assassination. I just didn't think that was a fair assessment. And then
it's not a fair assessment? Really? Interesting. Because I could think of about 300 million reasons why they might want him dead. But hey, you're not allowed to think that. You're not allowed to see the motive here. Well, we have the old saying, follow the money trail in America. That brings you to motive, right? And who are Charlie Kirk's biggest donors? Israel.
Turns out the next day she said it was the U.S. government who assassinated Charlie Kirk. I have no axe to grind with Candace Owens.
Here's what I got a problem with he just said. I don't believe for a minute Tyler Robinson did that. And whatever agency it was operating on American soil, guess what? The American government let it happen. So regardless if they pulled the trigger, they're involved in it. You could be delusional all you want. That's the reality of it.
Or her fan base, that's fine. I'm just living in the real world a little bit more reality based.
See, I got a real problem with what he just said. He lives in the real world. And I'll say it again. You live in the real world, but you don't have a problem with a crime scene being literally concrete paved over. You don't have a problem with a Dairy Queen being knocked down. So every print everywhere was the crime scene's totally washed away. But you live in the real world. Eric Bolling, another con man, scam artist.
I believe there are forces behind Charlie Kirk's assassination, but I don't think it's Israel. I'm pretty sure it's not, and I'm pretty sure it's not the U.S. government.
Who do you think it is? I mean,
I think it's the trans activist group funded by the Soros network of liberal progressive lunatics. Okay. And whether it's directly funded or they just fund these Antifa groups and it's riles up their base, and their base is anti.
So he believes that these Antifa scumbags and these LGBTQ high estrogen warriors who are like totally insane are carrying out organized assassinations in public. Right. Okay, Eric. Yeah, but you live in reality, right?
Trump, anything pro-Trump gets in the way. And because of Charlie's success.
Hold on. Let's not forget all the diversions, right? So there's a couple different there's the guy screaming and yelling. Then there's the hand gestures. Those hand gestures aren't real. The hand gestures are just to get you to focus on the people making the gestures, because the camera or the weapon that actually killed Charlie Kirk is pretty much right behind him. So they're trying to get you to focus on all these different things, and that's what it is.
As reaching into young people, he became a target to this whole Antifa, trans, progressive left cabal.
Did you see the text that Candace showed a couple days ago? Have you seen the text she showed the exchange?
I don't think I've
Rob,
seen it.
Do you have the text? I don't know if you do or not. If you do, pull it up. I'll read it. Is that man, it's going to be too long to go through for 3 minutes. But Charlie Kirk, right? Go to the text part. Okay. So Charlie Kirk just lost another huge Jewish donor, $2 million here because we won't cancel Tucker Carlson. I'm thinking of inviting Candace, 3:49 p.m. Oh, Charlie Kirk, Jewish donors playing to all the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this. This is Charlie Kirk saying this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. Please don't invite Candace. This might feel good short-term, but it's not good long-term, in my opinion. Like all groups, you're going to get a wide variety of opinions. That nasty free will thing that God bestowed on us make life frustrating at times. Can you go a little bit right to see what the next exchange is?
I don't believe there is.
Is that it?
I think that's it. And then Andrew Colvett from Turning Point USA came out yesterday. I do have that clip as well, where he confirms that those text messages are real.
Okay, you want to play that clip?
Yes.
So Andrew's the good-looking guy.
Now, Andrew, the good look. Give me a break, PBD. Andrew's a con man and a con artist and could care less who killed Charlie Kirk because he wants to step into the driver's seat. He's a complete effing idiot. But hey, as long as he's good looking, right, PBD?
That spoke at...
Yeah, he's the executive producer of Charlie Kirk's show. Yeah, he's been around Charlie since the very beginning.
Yes. Absolutely.
Part of the show to address some of the things that have been going around on public, namely about a group text chain that has been made known and released by Candace Owens. And I just want to address it head on because, that was a...
What are the odds that Erica Kirk starts sleeping with him or having a relationship? I mean, it's pretty convenient. Charlie's assassinated, and now the producer steps in to run the show. Whoa, God, what a coincidence.
A screen grab that I had shared with people. So it is authentic. And I want to go into it because I actually am really excited that the truth is out there. I first started this show.
Now he's excited that the truth is that. No, he doesn't have a choice but to say that. He's not excited that she released those text messages. Do you see him and Charlie Kirk's, some guy, a pastor or whatever? Oh, this is not fair to the family that you're releasing these messages. They weren't happy that these text messages were released. And Candace is absolutely correct for releasing these text messages to show motive.
To address some of the things that have been going around on public, namely about a group text chain that has been made known and released by Candace Owens. And I just want to address it head on because, that was a screen grab that I had shared.
Going again. Okay.
Yeah, but he's confirming that screen grab of that text message did happen. So what Candace was showing
did
is
he
accurate.
say because he shared it with somebody?
Yes.
Did.
And then
She did, yeah.
No, he's saying he shared it with somebody, and then that somebody shared it with Candace.
Oh, yeah, because Candace Owens is going to release fake text messages. Just shut. Come on, man. I mean, just give me a break.
This.
Yes.
Why are you sharing it yourself? I don't know. I understand. Like look. At the end of the day, here's what I'm interested in. I don't care who was behind it. I just want to know who was.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't care who's behind it. He just wants to know who. Like, you don't care. But PBD claims to love Charlie Kirk. He loved him, and his kids loved him. But you say things like, "I don't care who was behind it. I just want to know." Nice, good friend, nice friend.
I literally could care less who's behind it. I just want to know who was. When you're going back, Brandon, what do you think about when you hear these stories? Because you follow this stuff a lot.
What? I don't care who's behind it. I just want to know who was. So you don't really care about your friend being assassinated in front of his children? Yeah, great guy, PBD. Great man.
Closer than I do. Where are you at with this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm at a 99% certainty that there was some sort of organized force behind it. I mean, I think it'd be reckless to say that we know for sure who it was, but there's overwhelming evidence that there's foul play afoot, and there's evidence destruction, evidence hiding, evidence tampering, and when you can't answer simple questions, that just raises all kinds of red flags. And there's the lack of answering simple questions with direct answers as far as the eye could see. So, I mean, it's sad to think about. I mean, especially when we had
Can you see the pressures happening from people that are giving money? Can you see that happening?
Me? Yeah.
Absolutely.
I absolutely see that happening.
I could see donors saying, hey, I gave to you and I'm coming from this angle and these are my...
That was Charlie Kirk's biggest mistake. You can't take this type of money from people and then talk negatively about them. You just can't. We're talking about real gangsters. This is the real gangsters that have military behind them who are not going to let you're not going to take $250 million from them or whatever the money is, and they're going to build your business and do all type, and you're going to negatively make public image against them. You're not going to survive that. You're just not. If Charlie Kirk wanted to talk like that, he should have never took their money.
My preferences, the things that I support, and I'm giving you on that, and because I think you're in line with that. Donors put pressures on colleges. Donors put pressure on the new zoo that's being built. Donor pressure, especially mega donor pressure on recipients, is very, very real. And I'm with Brandon. There's a lot of things I just don't like about this, and there's an Oswald type feeling of this when, the governor of Utah goes in, we got him.
I love the big elephant in the room. Still not answering the question. Well, who would be the only people that would want Charlie dead? Where do they come from? Where do those donors come from? Israel. But hey, don't say that.
That's not how these cases happen. We have made an arrest in this case, and we have high confidence that the suspect we've arrested, it will be proven, is guilty. That's the way you say it. And remember with Oswald, they held up the gun immediately. They held up the gun here. I see these parallels. It was like, wow, that was fast. And a lot of it just bothers me. And I want to hear... Yeah. And I don't speculate. I don't go further. I just say I see these things, and this bothers me as a fair-minded individual just looking at it. And I just want to know who. Like you, I just want to know.
Yeah, I will tell you firsthand. I was at an event of Turning Point USA, Mar-a-Lago. You may have gone with me. You may have not. I don't remember. Maybe we spoke about it outside, Tom. He raised $41 million that night. Okay? It was an incredible night. Well, let me tell you when this was. This is when Biden had won, and the Republican Party, a group of it that voted for Trump, had stepped away from him and become more pro-DeSantis. This is probably 22-ish. At the end of whenever he does the last thing of the year where he's raising the most money, December, maybe it's like some kind of, I'm sure you would know which one this is.
December, right? That's their big event. Yeah,
okay, so that's the big
Student Action Summit. Yeah.
So I'm just an outsider. I'm not an insider with Turning Point USA. I have a relationship with Charlie Kirk. Him and I have spent a lot of time together. And one of our last conversations, if you remember, Tom, when we had at the dinner, the lunch we had at the mansions at MGM, where he wanted to have a meeting with me, you, and him long term, what he said about our relationship with Vaitim and him with us long term. Maybe one day we'll talk about that. But when I'm at that charity event, I'm sizing everybody up, and I'm just kind of
You don't care who killed him, though, huh? Great business partner.
seeing who's giving the money. Where people, I'd like to pledge $100,000. I like to pledge $500,000, and they kept the big one for the end. And we'd like to pledge, family money offices, everybody's there, $2 million, $4 million. Total was $41 million. One lady got up and she said something, and she said, some of you here are hesitating to pledge because you're worried if Charlie is going to be behind only Trump and not DeSantis, if DeSantis were to be the lead and not Trump. And he says, here's one thing we know. Charlie's going to do the right thing. This lady is saying this. She was probably in her late 60s, early 70s. Very gentle way she spoke. But I'm in the back, and all I'm thinking about is, man, if you get into business like this where you're raising money, you have to know that these guys are given $1 million, $2 million, and they're not just asking for a better table and a better seat. They're probably going to be.
Wow, that's so enlightening, PPD. I mean, you're telling us what we already know. It gives 250 million reasons of motive why. Because Benjamin Netanyahu also offered Charlie 150 million to be more pro-Israel, and they give him 40 million in one night. Is nothing compared to what Charlie got from the rest of the donors in total.
Pressuring you to do different things as well. What does that look like? Back in the days, I watched Dudley was doing a charity. We went to it and we raised a bunch of money. And I'm like, wow, what a great professional fundraiser. He recommended a book I read about raising money. It was a guy that had raised $2.1 billion. It was called The Greatest Beggar of All Time. He joked about, I'm the greatest beggar of all time. And I read the book and I said, man, this is not for everybody. To be in a business of raising money, especially politically like this, I can for sure see how it can be annoying. So when I'm reading that text, I do believe that a person like Charlie Kirk will be like, I'm so sick and tired of you guys not letting me have who I want to have. Like I remember one time, you remember this, Tom, when we're in a board meeting and my board sits down and says, you have to get every one of your salespeople vaccinated. I'm like, no, I don't. Yeah, you do. No, I don't. I'm not going to get anybody. You have to get every insurance guy to get vaccinated. And we had a tough meeting. I said, guys, I'm just telling you right now, it's not going to happen. We started this company for people to have a free choice. But the board will try to do that, especially. Thank God we kept 80% of the company where we had control, and they couldn't make us do anything. And but this is a different situation. I'll give you the final words here on this topic here.
Listen.
Yeah, okay.
Where do we go from here? Yes, I would agree with everything.
Where do we go from here? Oh, no, I'm just turn the page. I won't blame Israel. Oh, no, they have no motive to do it at all, according to Eric Bolling. Just like Jeffrey Epstein didn't work for the Israeli government either, right?
Do you want to know who killed Charlie? Would you like to know who killed Charlie?
I would like to get confirmation of who I believe killed Charlie.
The guy doesn't give one shit. He's a piece of shit.
Patrick, we were sitting here, less than a week after Charlie was assassinated, and that text message between the alleged assassin and his boyfriend or his lover spelled out exactly the detail of why he did it, where he did it, how long he's been planning it.
That was the biggest bullshit text message I've ever read in my life.
It was.
Yeah, save the best lie for the last. He really believed. Eric Bolling is pushing the text messages onto the PBD audience that those were serious messages. Right.
It just laid it out to slam the door on this guy for a murder conviction, firing squad, so that the bigger brains and money behind the operation would never be discovered. I believe that to the bottom of my heart. And I'm not generally a conspiracy guy. I'm not generally a conspiracy guy. That's what all these idiots. I'm not generally a conspiracy guy.
Is 9/11 a conspiracy? Is what Tucker Carlson, the movie he made? Let me guess, Tucker's a conspiracy guy now. See, now in 2025, when you tell the truth, it's a conspiracy. Oh, the devil loves that. He loves that.
The old guy that goes down and says, I shot him immediately. Like, who has the wherewithal to do that? And then the clown up front jumping around, making himself. There was just too many things that fell into place for it to be.
Yeah, the only guy that doesn't jump under a table when gunshots happen.
Yeah.
It's an old man.
And the other idiot up front, the guy waving like this.
The only clown idiot is you.
Seconds after Charlie's assassination.
And then you do construction on the site. And then it's just too many. And too many. And then and I'll stop on the end then.
And then you send a limo back to Ford Motor Company within 48 hours, and it's on. Yeah.
May I just tie this up with Candace? Yeah. Okay. So there were text messages going back where Charlie may have been disillusioned.
No, it could never be Israel. I mean, there's only 400 million reasons why you'd want him to be assassinated because he was changing his tune. But hey, no big deal, man. The guy only got shot in the neck right in front of his 2 kids. No big deal.
That doesn't make the case for Israel assassinating Charlie.
Oh, is that what she said? Because
I'm guessing that was the lead. I mean,
is that what's being insinuated?
To be fair to Kansas, I don't think she ever said, I blame Israel. I don't think at all. I think she had concerns about Bibi.
She did. In fact, Bill Ackman said she's way.
She never said it was Israel. She just put it out there. All the big-time Jewish donors who were angry with Charlie. She never once said it was Israel. So he's lying again. And I don't know why she wouldn't, because we already know that's what she's indicating. No big deal. I mean, just look at the motive. Follow the money. Oh, yeah, it was China. It was Russia. It was the LGBTQ mafia. Right, okay.
She accused Bill Ackman of going to a party in the Hamptons.
No, those are 2 different things, Tom. So if I may, the one area where I had a challenge with is the what do you call it? The Bill Ackman thing exchange, where Bill Ackman's like, I really don't want to respond to this, but let me go with one of my long, Bible quality type of a respond that he writes 50,000 words. And he responds to it, right? And then he shared a text message of afterwards. They talk about getting the ladies to go out to dinner together. And Charlie validated. Yeah, look, it seemed like a very cordial. The $150 million, I don't know about the $150 million offer that was made by Netanyahu or whoever to help Turning Point USA. That was one of the claims that was made. My problem is if it's 0-2, here's who did it. And you can have text, you can have other things. Great. That's fantastic. Let's read it and let's speculate. But to go 0-2, I think this is who was behind it. I think it's too early to do so. Let's put all the people, all the, what do you call it?
Well, that's kind of hard to do, Patrick, considering all the evidence and the crime scene's been completely destroyed. But you already know that. And once again, he's deflecting off of motive and who has the intentions and motive to want to assassinate Charlie Kirk. And it only comes down to one country, and that's Israel, because that's where he's getting all his money from. So Tyler Robinson did not kill Charlie Kirk. Just give me a break. And PBD, he already knows that, but he won't say it because he's probably got some deal worked out too with some payments coming in.
Like the movie, was it Usual Suspects with Kaiser Sose? You got all the guys in, like, who do you think it is? I think it's this guy. I think it's that guy. I think it's this guy. And sometimes it is Kaiser Sose. But sometimes it takes till the end of the movie to find out it was Kaiser Sose. And he tells a whole joke and he walks away and the limp is gone and then boom, Kevin Spacey walks away and everything changed. So we don't know. All I'm saying, and by the way, I appreciate you for being straight up about it. And
he wasn't straight up about anything, PBD. Just he kept lying as usual. Like, that's straight up to you, PBD? I can see you've been a salesman your whole life.
And addressing this. And by the way, just so you guys know, he addressed it within 48 hours or 72 hours when I made the phone call.
Oh, so that means he's telling the truth then? No, he just knows he had to address it because he sounded like a complete idiot because he was lying and got called out by so many people.
He talked about it at his show while you were doing it at Turning Point USA property with Andrew, if I'm not mistaken.
Andrew and I, we were inside the compound the day after the memorial. It was a Monday after the Sunday memorial. And I did the show. I taped the show from inside the TPUSA compound. There was a massive, celebrating of Charlie.
Okay, what the F does that mean? That means you tell the truth? Because you taped in his compound or his tent or whatever?
It was like outside the walls, and we were invited in. I did it with Andrew. I mean, the suggestion that I wasn't or am not involved with TPUSA is asinine.
Yeah, and I made the call to Candace Owens. Candace and I had a 30-minute conversation that day as well. I say, Candace, and we spoke about it, and we had a very, very good conversation together about this specific issue. And listen, anybody that's interested on finding out what happened here, I want to know because I love Charlie Kirk. Charlie to me.
Now you love them? 10 minutes ago, you said you don't care who killed him, but you want to get to the bottom of it, but you don't really care. But now you love the guy. Yeah, I know.
He was one of a kind. He was somebody that my kids looked up to, my boys looked up to. And there's a lot of guys right now. It's like, hi, I'm the new Charlie Kirk. No, you're not. It takes 10 plus years. It takes 31 years to be a Charlie Kirk, a lot of work, and you have to be multifaceted like Charlie. And God willing, I think others will rise up in their own way. But just like everybody was waiting for Reagan, nothing happened, God gave us a Trump. And Trump was able to go against evil maybe in ways that others couldn't. All right, let's get to the next story here. Folks.
I wouldn't expect anything else from the PBD show or the guests that they have on. Just full-blown denial. There's 350 million reasons why Israel would want Charlie Kirk assassinated. There's all the motive in the world. But now that there's no crime scene, and the footage is the footage. The footage is the footage. So it's kind of, the crazy thing is this. It's like they got to pull it off on camera. And they got to have all these distractions, and they got to hide the weapon a certain way because it is what it is on footage. And if you don't catch the actual person who's doing it, it's like, oh, well, there's the footage. We didn't find nobody. So Tyler Robinson's going to do life in prison, and he didn't even pull the trigger. So the next story for today was Kyren Lacy. Of course, ESPN, the woke media is eating this up like he was some innocent kid on his way to school. And, he took his life because people were lying about him and the cops should be charged and the cops are racist. Meanwhile, he took his life after he pointed a weapon at a family member, pointed to the ground, shot into the ground because they had an argument, domestic dispute. He took off. He was chased. He crashed his car again, and then he decided to take his life. But of course, that's not the spin. That's not the story. That I believe this story, the ESPN is pumping this out and all the media outlets. It's because they need a distraction from Charlie Kirk. That's my opinion. It's obvious that Kyren Lacy wasn't innocent. And meanwhile, the witness that you're going to see that comes out to the accident, he's a trucker. He's a black truck driver. And he comes out and he says that Kyren Lacy caused this entire accident, caused the man's death. So they all stop to help. And what does Kyren Lacy do? Mr. Selfish himself. He takes off. Oh, I don't got time for this. I just killed a man, but you know what? Who cares? And then on top of it, they have his phone records. And 2 minutes after the crash, he's calling lawyers because he knows exactly what he did. But leave it to racist Ryan Clark and woke ESPN to push this narrative that the police in this case are racist and all the witnesses are racist. Meanwhile, the first witness on the scene is a black truck driver who said that Kyren Lacy caused this entire crash. But the real reason behind Kyren Lacy taking his life is because he pointed a weapon at a family member, took off from cops, and then crashed his car again. So we have a pattern of behavior here. But okay, hey, we got to blame white people somehow. Let's blame racism somehow. Let's not blame Kyren Lacy for his own actions and behavior. That would mean racist Ryan Clark would have to use his low IQ brain for once to think, but he doesn't care. He doesn't wake up with Mr. Godly himself. I go to church and roll around the floor and jump up and down with the Bible. He doesn't know anything about God because God operates in truth, not lies. And racist Ryan Clark wakes up every day trying to make everything racial 24 hours a day so he can cause more division in the country because he's a piece of garbage. So let's jump into this video. If you'll notice, everybody's doing 30 miles an hour. He's doing like 75, 80, probably even faster. See, if he was doing the speed limit like a normal human being and not making it all about him and being a narcissist, the accident doesn't happen. But that would mean you'd have to have some critical thinking skills and tell the truth for once in your life. Flying, doing 120 miles an hour.
According to the video timestamp, at 12:03 p.m. and 54 seconds, a portion of the crash can be seen as it occurs. Moments before the crash, the gold pickup truck abruptly veers out of the northbound lane into a business, while the green Charger is approaching in the same lane. Immediately after the crash occurred, the green Charger was observed on surveillance video and by witnesses traveling through the crash scene and continues north on LA 20, failing to stop. At the same time, all other vehicles remain at the scene to provide assistance. The briefing will now transition to the troopers' response and investigation. At 12:00 p.m., a two-vehicle injury crash with road blockage was dispatched to Louisiana State Police Troop C via the 911 dispatch system. The responding trooper arrived on the scene at 12:07 p.m. and was immediately met by numerous witnesses who described a green Charger driving aggressively and causing the crash. The video has been edited for time purposes.
102, be advised, we got total road blockage on LA 20.
If you get a chance, can you advise code of injury?
Civil.
I'm saying it's a natural instinct to turn and then she had no hit head on.
How you doing?
Did you see a green Charger flying that way? A green Charger that's going that way?
Oh, what color is that man right there? The first witness saying that Kyren Lacy was the one that caused the accident. Doesn't look Caucasianoid to me.
The green Charger. That's the green Charger caused all this. SRT8, he caused all that. He went to practice cars way back there, sir.
The green Charger caused all this. But hey, racist Ryan Clark, 1 + 1, 2 + 2, 3 + 3. I know you don't know the answer.
The green Charger collided with these cars?
He went right.
He went around that truck. Okay.
He was passing up.
Wonderful human being. Gets like one person killed, another breaks an ankle, 4 people injured. I don't got time to stop for this. I'm busy, man. It's about me. What are you talking about? Racist Ryan Clark will come to my rescue.
Right now, and she had no choice. She hits the pole.
How are the injuries? What
She
are they?
got a broken ankle.
He's probably having a fight with his girlfriend on the phone, can't control his emotions, and I'll just kill 2 or 3 people. No big deal.
Broken ankle.
Complaining of back injuries and then like that. I was on the phone when
2 back injuries, 1 broken ankle?
Yeah.
I just told him not to move. You know what I'm saying? Me doing my part.
You said something about a green Charger. Who told you something about a green Charger?
I'm down 18 wheel like this, sir.
Okay, so you saw it?
I saw it.
What did you see happen?
He went to pass him. I say when he went to pass me cars back there around around the curve. All right.
Okay.
All right. Hey, he come down. Right. When he come down, I got Mr. He had his brother that he was taken to the emergency room, to hospital or something like that, chemo or something like that. But I got his number also to verify this, because he was a car that was in front of her. When that green Charger came, he went caused this whole big trap, so everybody went to hitting brakes because the Charger, I thought he hit the gold truck head on. So he jammed on brakes. She was coming down. They was going that way. When I saw,
which way was the Charger going? The Charger
was going this way.
Charger's going this way. Okay.
She was coming this way.
Okay.
They was going this way also. Mr. on brakes. She went to dodge Mr. And that's when she came.
He makes it sound like Kyren Lacy was driving in the wrong lane, that he was driving into oncoming traffic. Yeah, wonderful human being. Make it all about you. And then as Kyren Lacy's mom says, I'm not going to accept any apologies. You and your dirtbag son should be apologizing to all the lives that they've taken for your selfishness.
I was about to gas
hit him, on the left side. She come over and hit him.
Which 18-wheel were you driving?
The red one. Right there.
So the Charger, I guess, passed you up?
The Charger beeline, it was cars behind me because I'm taking my time.
And the Charger was passing all these cars?
All right, you get the point. I mean, it's clear as day. The first witness says that Kyren Lacy started the whole crash. Kyren Lacy didn't unalive himself after this incident. He unalived himself at in a barbecue because he pointed a weapon at a family member, took off from cops, and crashed his car again. So he probably figured, I got 2 cases rolled into one. I don't want to be here anymore. And he did what he did. But hey, let's spin this whole narrative that it's the racist cops and racism in America. Ryan Clark, you absolutely make me sick. Listen, I can only put it one way. I hate Ryan Clark's guts. He makes me sick. He's made ESPN unwatchable because he's a dirtbag. And ESPN, you should be ashamed of yourself hiring garbage like racist Ryan Clark. I think Bill Belichick needs to be fired immediately. Immediately. He's discussing buyout options with North Carolina. If I'm North Carolina, you know what I tell Bill Belichick? F you. I'm not giving you a penny. Bill Belichick, Mr. No-nonsense. He was hired to be no-nonsense. He was hired to turn around the North Carolina Tar Heels with his no-nonsense approach. And then he's got his 20-year-old gold digger girlfriend on the sidelines in mini skirts and half naked during the games and practices, making out with her on the sideline. He's 70 years old, and the girl is 20 years old. Bill Belichick needs to be fired immediately. He has destroyed his reputation, his image. Like, Bill, I know we all get lonely sometimes. My advice to you is get a dog and maybe date somebody that's at least 50 years old, considering you're 70. You bring her to practice on the sideline. She's half naked, all the guys. Like, come on. It's just Mr. No Nonsense himself. This is how you want your final chapter to be written out, that Bill Belichick brought his gold-digging girlfriend on the sidelines during North Carolina football games. I wouldn't pay Bill Belichick one penny if I'm North Carolina. Bill Belichick has discussed buyout options with North Carolina's hierarchy. Belichick has signaled a willingness to trigger his own $1 million buyout if he can find a soft landing with another team or in the. I wouldn't let him hold me hostage. I would just fire him. Fire him. Belichick's contract allows him to exit anytime by paying back $1 million to the school, absent for a cause termination. However, North Carolina would owe him $20 million or so if it were to pull the plug on his deal. That gives him leverage to avoid paying to leave and possibly get some of the remaining money in exchange for going quietly. Man, what a dirtbag. Member of Belichick's coaching staff have already spoken to other schools that are expected to be in the CFB playoff about taking on roles during the postseason. Connolly reports from one coach, the Rats are leaving the ship. Some staffers believe a change will come within 2 weeks. Belichick's communication with his staff in the past 2 weeks has been described as weird and distant by multiple members of UNC's coaching staff. Multiple coaches were unable to get a hold of him during UNC's bye week. Yeah, that sounds like Belichick, a guy that worked. Just, Bill, do us all a favor. Have some class. Have some dignity. You made millions. Football has been the greatest thing to ever happen to you in your life. Tell North Carolina, let's just let bygones be bygones. I don't owe you anything. You don't owe me anything. And just walk away and go to the beach with your gold digger girlfriend and buy her Gucci and all the garbage that you're doing now. And don't extort North Carolina for your poor behavior and your ridiculous, disgusting coaching style now, because that's what it is. You have a bunch of 20-year-old men in their prime, and you're bringing your 19-year-old girlfriend on the sideline that's half naked. North Carolina doesn't owe you anything, Bill. And football's been great to you, Bill. Have some integrity, be a man, and just walk away. Both sides should just walk away. Finally, Connolly tweeted this from an unnamed UNC defensive assistant. What we've done to these kids is effed up. Just fire Bill Belichick and be done with it. I just, sometimes if Bill doesn't want to have any class or dignity and just, let bygones be bygones, you don't owe me, I don't owe you. You know what North Carolina needs to do? They need to take the loss and tell Bill to get effing lost, and that should be the end of it. And with that being said, thanks for tuning in to Unbreakable with Chris Chamasiros.